Lift his body.
Oh, yeah, he's acting like dead weight.
Get rid of Kimmel and perhaps replace him with another washed up but cheap ABC talent.
To something else, because when I looked at this show, and I have ever imagined, and thank you for supporting me every step of the way.
I said, can you imagine if a nude man ran across the stage today?
Number 10. Perfect pooch line. Let me paint you a picture of a moment that melted hearts faster than butter on a hot pancake at the Oscars in 2024. Jimmy Kimmel, the charming host, decides to sprinkle some extra magic into his monologue. What's his secret weapon? None other than the four-legged sensation, Messi Dog. Now you might think it's too easy, right? But let me tell you, it was pure gold. Kimmel, with his wit sharper than a chef's knife, takes us on a trip down memory lane, reminiscing about Robert Downey Jr.'s classic flick, The Shaggy Dog. And then he drops the shocker, a casting suggestion for a modern-day remake starring the one and only Messi. This pup, with a head tilt that could make even the toughest of critics go aw,
Kind of lifted up.
Lift his body. Oh, yeah, he's acting like dead weight.
The kind of spark, like that's what needs to happen to make it look realistic.
Laura revealed Messi went through around 7 auditions before landing the role of Snoop.
strutted onto the stage sporting a bow tie that could rival James Bond's. And get this, he even threw in a round of applause, using his paws like a true gentleman. In a room filled with Hollywood royalty, Messi stole the spotlight, proving once and for all that sometimes all you need is a furry friend to make magic happen. And that, my friends, was the perfect pooch line of the night. Number 9. The Real Superheroes. Let's talk about a moment at the Oscars in 2024 that had everyone on their feet, cheering louder than at a rock concert. Jimmy Kimmel, wrapping up his monologue like the pro he is, decides to shine the spotlight on some unsung heroes of Hollywood, the real superheroes behind the scenes. He calls out the Teamsters, truck drivers, lighting crew, sound, camera, gaffers, grips, basically the backbone of Tinseltown, who stood strong during the storm of dual writers and actors strikes. These are the folks who didn't just talk the talk, they walked the walk, refusing to cross the picket line when it mattered most. As Kimmel's words echo through the auditorium, the crowd rises to their feet, applause thundering through the air like a summer storm.
The show, as you know, is starting an hour early this year, but don't worry, it will still end very, very late. Has there ever been a worse host than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars? In fact, we're already 5 minutes over, and I am not joking. His opening was that of a less-than-average person trying too hard to be something which he is not and never can be. I'm not going to lie, it's going to be a long night after what was a long year. It was a hard year, but it was also a great year for movies. Get rid of Kimmel and perhaps replace him with another washed-up but cheap ABC talent, despite the fact that everything stopped. The people in this room, George Slopanopoulos. He would make everybody on stage look bigger, stronger, and more glamorous. Somehow managed to come up with so many excellent films and so many memorable performances. Blah, blah, blah. Make America great again.
Thank you for standing with us, Kimmel says, his voice ringing with sincerity. But he doesn't stop there. Oh no. He promises something that sends ripples of solidarity through the room. In their upcoming negotiation, Hollywood will stand shoulder to shoulder with them. In a town known for its glitz and glamour, this moment was a reminder of the real heart of Hollywood, a community that stands together, united in the face of adversity. And as the applause fades into the night, one thing's for sure, these real-life superheroes just got the standing ovation they truly deserve. Number 8. Most gracious acceptance speech. Imagine a scene straight out of a tear-jerking movie. Davine Joy Randolph, radiant with joy and humility, stepping into the spotlight to claim her well-deserved Oscar for actress in a supporting role. And if you think Hollywood stars are immune to emotions, just take a glance at her Holdovers co-star, Paul Giamatti. Yep, that's a tear in his eye. But let's talk about the real showstopper of the night, Randolph's acceptance speech. With grace and sincerity, she begins, "I've always wanted to be different." The audience leans in, captivated. And then comes the twist, a revelation that hits home like a lightning bolt. Now I realize that I just need to be myself. In those few words, Randolph encapsulates a truth that resonates with every dreamer, every outsider, every person who's ever felt like they didn't quite fit the mold. It's a message of authenticity, of embracing your true self, flaws and all.
Yet that was the model of success. So I was on this journey of trying to figure out how I could mold myself. To Alexander Payne, thank you for holding my dress. Also, you are a singular talent. To something else, because when I looked at this show, than I have ever imagined, and thank you for supporting me every step of the way. And so therefore I thought maybe I needed to conform. And I thank you for entrusting me with this beautiful character. Dominic, to know you is to love you, and how lucky I am.
And as she speaks, you can almost feel the collective heart of the audience swell with admiration and understanding. In a world where conformity often reigns supreme, Randolph's words serve as a beacon of hope, a reminder that true greatness lies not in fitting in, but in standing out as your authentic self. And as the applause fills the air, it's clear that tonight, Randolph isn't just accepting an award, she's inspiring a generation. Number 7, John Cena bears it. Let's paint a picture that had everyone at the Oscars in 2024 doing a double take. John Cena, wrestling superstar turned Hollywood heartthrob, faced with a moment that'll go down in award show history. It all started as a cheeky nod to the past, a playful tribute to the infamous streaker who made waves at the Oscars half a century ago. But when it came time for Cena to strut his stuff and present the award for costuming, he seemed to have a change of heart about bearing it all. Enter Jimmy Kimmel, the master of ceremonies and master of persuasion. With a grin that could charm the socks off anyone, Kimmel coaxes Cena onto the stage, where the audience holds its breath in anticipation. And then, there he is, Cena, the epitome of muscles upon muscles, seemingly wearing nothing but a mischievous grin and the envelope containing the winner.
You're really not gonna do this? Fine, just give out the award then. God.
Psst, Jimmy.
What?
Costumes.
I said, can you imagine if a nude man ran across the stage today? Wouldn't that be crazy? The worst. I can't come there. Do the thing.
The crowd erupts into a mix of shock, laughter, and perhaps a hint of admiration for Cena's boldness. Number 6, Batman animosity returns. The stage at the Oscars in 2024 is set, and out walk two familiar faces, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. Now you might think, what's the big deal? Haven't they just reunited for a Super Bowl spot? But prepare to be pleasantly surprised. Just when you think you've got them figured out, Schwarzenegger and DeVito pull a fast one, tapping into their shared history as iconic Batman villains. As they reminisce about their days causing chaos in Gotham City, they drop the comedic shocker, taking playful jabs at none other than Michael Keaton, the OG Batman himself, who happens to be sitting right there in the audience. And here's the kicker. Keaton, ever the good sport, plays along with the bit, adding fuel to the comedic fire. The audience erupts into laughter, the atmosphere crackling with nostalgia and good-natured ribbing. Number 5, In Memoriam's awkward dance. Let's talk about a moment at the Oscars that left many scratching their heads, the In Memoriam segment. Now don't get me wrong, the vocals by Andrea and Matteo Bocelli were nothing short of beautiful, tugging at heartstrings and stirring emotions. But then, things took a turn for the strange. Enter the dancers. With all due respect to their talent, their presence felt, well, a tad out of place. As they twirled and pirouetted across the stage, it was hard not to wonder, what exactly do dance moves have to do with honoring the memory of those we've lost? To make matters worse, the camera angles seemed to add insult to injury. Instead of focusing on the names of the dearly departed, we were treated to distant shots that made it feel like we were watching from the nosebleed seats. In a segment meant to pay tribute to the luminaries of the film industry who have left us, the addition of dancers felt unnecessary and, dare I say it, distracting. It's a reminder that sometimes less is more, and that when it comes to honoring the memory of our beloved icons, simplicity is key. But hey, at least we'll always have the haunting melodies of the Bocellis to remember. Number 4. Al Pacino Slip Up. Let's talk about a moment at the 2024 Oscars that left everyone scratching their heads: Al Pacino's anticlimactic reveal of the Best Picture winner. Now, before we get into it, let's make one thing clear. Al Pacino is an absolute legend in Hollywood, but even legends have their off moments. The tension is palpable as Pacino steps onto the stage, card in hand, ready to announce the most important award of the night, Best Picture. The audience holds its breath, waiting for that iconic voice to ring out and declare the winner. But instead of the booming announcement we were all expecting, Pacino delivers the news with a mumbled card reading that left us all collectively scratching our heads and whispering, "So what won?" Now let's be real, we mean no disrespect to the man himself, but in the moment that's supposed to be the climax of the entire evening, the lackluster delivery left much to be desired. It's like waiting for the grand finale of a fireworks show only to have it fizzle out with a whimper. Number 3. Drug jokes. Now let's address a moment at the Oscars that sparked some uncomfortable murmurs in the audience: Jimmy Kimmel's ill-advised jokes about Robert Downey Jr.'s past struggles with drug use. Number 2. RDJ Snub. Ke-Huy Quan beamed with enthusiasm announcing Robert Downey Jr. as Best Supporting Actor. However, Downey Jr.'s response seemed less than reciprocal. Upon receiving the award, he barely acknowledged Quan, opting instead to greet Tim Robbins and Sam Rockwell. When Quan tried to hand him the winning envelope,
and the stuff that we decide to make is important. So back to my publicist.
Downey Jr. turned away, heading straight for the mic. Whether intentional or not, it made for an awkward and disappointing moment for viewers. Number 1. Tiny In Memoriam text. Man, the text in that In Memoriam tribute? Talk about needing a magnifying glass. Viewers were squinting like crazy to read those names. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.